What's up, gamers and brainiacs? It's Foxtrot here, and today, I'm finally back on YouTube. Sorry, it's been a while. There have been a few things. I've been confused with the Sonic fan base for a while. I didn't even know if I should continue making videos on it for a while. Now I feel, but now I feel pretty good about it. So yeah, I'll continue. But other than that, this video will be continuing where we left off with kyuubivixen's story, My Arms Are Blue. Now, I have two previous videos. Links to both of them will be in the description down below, if I remember, because this is probably going to be a long video, and I'm probably going to forget to put them in the description. So, anyway, in the previous episodes, basically this being thing made a TV, trapped Sonic, Tails, Amy, Knuckles, Shadow, and Dr. Eggman in Sonic's house, because Sonic has a house, and it's awesome. Hey, just because it's not in the game doesn't mean he can't have one eventually. I mean, Tails has a workshop, why can't Sonic have a house? Okay, so, anyway, in it, basically this thing has kidnapped them, and they can't get out until they watch every single episode of Sonic Boom. Now, I don't know if this is just going to be Season 1 or Season 1 and 2. If it's Season 1 and 2, we're probably... Congratulations, guys. I've got a running series that'll keep on going for the next 2 years. Thank you, Kyuubi. You're going to make this YouTube channel have a constant series. So I should probably create a playlist for this because people will want to see this. Alright, anyway. So after that, they saw the preview, they saw episode 1, and oh man, that chapter was hilarious. For a lot of reasons that I can't bring up here because it's not exactly family friendly. But I've already talked to kyuubivixen about that before. We're omitting all of the non-family friendly parts. She's okay with that. In the second one, they watched the episode where Styx got revealed, and Sonic and Tails were pretty much... That's where they basically found out it was an alternate universe, and yeah, that's pretty awesome. Alright, and now this is where they will be watching the episode Translate This. Now, Translate This, if I remember correctly, was pretty much a Tails episode for the most part. I mean, I know, like, Tails and Sonic are pretty much the two main characters in this, other than Eggman. But Tails, he creates this robot thing, translates stuff, and it translates things in such the wrong way, apparently. Because I believe that the robot, gave away some things that it didn't need to give away, like certain personal things, and I believe it also made Tails come out as a bit egotistical, which does not seem to fit his character at all. But anyway, that's in the actual episode, and we're about to read the story. But before I do, guys, the link to the story, that will, without a doubt, be in the description down below, because what person would I be if I didn't give a link to the story? All rights go to the kyuubivixen. I did not create this story. I am working on one of my own. Probably shouldn't have mentioned that. But that'll come up sometime in the future. I'm not sure. Because I want the first chapter to be at least 5,000 words. I know. It may seem like a lot, but it's just kind of my thing. And I don't want to be a hypocrite. Like, I like to read stories with, like, 5,000 or more words, like, per chapter, and I feel like a hypocrite if I don't make my first one at least that long. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to do it that way. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but yeah, I think it'll be good. But anyway, enough stalling. Let's get into the story by the kyuubivixen. Alright, and first off, here we have a disclaimer. Disclaimer, I don't own the games or the show. Now, I imagine when she says don't own the games or the show, obviously she means she's not the one who created them. She doesn't own like, literally the characters. They belong to Sega, blah, blah, blah. Because I imagine she actually owns, like, a few of the games for herself to play. You know, like, Generations Unleashed, which are actually some pretty good games. I don't care what anybody says about the Werehog. The Werehog was awesome. Um, I know that some of you guys have been waiting for this. Enjoy episode 3. Yay! Alright, let's do this. By the way, this is going to be a really long episode, guys. Sorry about that. Oh, and by the way, before we get into this, I just realized, because I opened this, and I've read a little bit, like, not because I wanted to, like, know the story first before I did this video, but just because I opened the page, and, I saw a little bit of it. I mean, I didn't, like, read the entire thing, but I saw a little bit of it, so I'll be honest with you guys there. But there's actually this, new picture here that Kyuubi has for the story, and this picture is great. I really like it. I don't know if someone drew that for her and submitted it, or if she found it on the internet. But it's a good picture, and it actually goes really well with what this story is going to be about. So, yeah, guys, be sure to check that out because it's really cool. Alright, scrolling down now. Oh, snap. This is not good. Those few minutes turned into about... Oh, right, because Shadow fell asleep during the last episode. That's kind of the thing. Shadow's cranky because he's, like, really tired. Eggman doesn't want to be there because he's surrounded by Sonic. Sonic's trying to stay as far away from Amy as possible. Knuckles is kind of ticked off, too. And Tails is just, like, trying to figure everything out pretty much, while also being the kid that he is. Oh no, this is not gonna be good. Those few minutes turned into about 30. Okay, so, here we go. Most of that time was spent debating who would wake the ultimate sleepyhead, because Shadow's asleep. The ultimate sleepy. By the way, claps to you, Kyuubi, for coming up with that. That's actually really funny. Well, I mean, not like that funny, but still, I like that. Eventually, with a lot of begging and games of rock, paper, scissors later, Tail realized that life was so... No! No! Oh no. No. Kyuubi, why you do this to me? Why you gotta make Tails the victim? Then again, Sonic Boom did that enough. You know what, Kyuubi, considering that Sonic Boom made Tails the victim of pretty much everything, it actually makes sense that you would make him the victim here, but come on. You know I'm the guy who's reading these, right? On YouTube, we've discussed this. Like, seriously, why you gotta make my favorite character suffer? And I just spoiled that top 10 that's gonna come out in the future. Not anytime soon, but it will come out. Congratulations. I ruined the #1 spot. But anyway, eventually, with a lot of begging and games of rock, paper, scissors later, Tails realized that life was so unfair. The fox's namesakes were twitching erratically as he bit his lip. Unsure, Sapphire's looking down at Shadow on the couch. Oh no. Sonic, why would you do this to your little brother? He was an arm's length away from the sleeping hog. Tails peered over his shoulder at Sonic sitting on the floor. His brother gave him a reassuring thumbs up. Tails didn't feel any better. I wouldn't either, bro. I would not want to mess with Shadow. Thinking about it though, Tails guessed that he was the best candidate for the job, no matter how he felt about it. Eggman was an obvious no, because the thing wanted everyone to watch the show. The doctor couldn't do that if he was dead. Oh yeah. Knuckles and Sonic were better choices than Eggman, but still bad. Yeah, Shadow would just pick a fight. Shadow wouldn't kill them, most likely. However, there will be injuries, and the living room would be beyond saving. Yeah. Tails was surprised that the rivals' earlier tussle hadn't left the space in shambles. Oh yeah. I actually looked up that word the other day when I was talking with my dad. Yeah, isn't shambles like another word for like ultimate chaos? Which is actually really creative here, considering how much like chaos, not like the creature, but chaos like in general plays into the Sonic fandom. So that's So that's actually, or the Sonic lore, or uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Universe, I guess. So yeah, good job. It's still something to point out. It's cool. Amy would have been a good candidate if Tails didn't think that Shadow was a firm believer. Amy would have been a good candidate if Tails didn't think that Shadow was a firm believer in. Oh, so. Okay, if Tails didn't think that Shadow was a firm believer in equal rights. Basically, guys shouldn't hit a girl. But apparently Tails doesn't think that Shadow will do that. Yeah, something gives me the feeling. From what the kids saw, the striped hedgie in the field, Shadow didn't care what gender you were. He was going to hit. So, Tails just hoped the guy had a soft spot for kids. Oh no. Wait, isn't Amy like 1 year older than Tails? Like, according to some, like, some people say Tails is 11, some say he's 8. Apparently, according to the canon, Tails is actually 8. Nah, I guess Amy's 4 years older than him. Oh well. Oh boy. Kyuubi, just get it over with. Just get it over with. Please don't kill him. The young Anthro took a steady breath, steeling himself, and avoided the potentially sharp quills to nudge Shadow's shoulder. Tails swore that he hadn't touched the striped one yet, but apparently he... Tails swore that he hadn't touched the striped one yet, but apparently he had. For what other reason would he be suddenly on the floor with a scowling hedgehog straddling him with a fist raised ready to break his nose? Yeah, he couldn't think of one either. Tails held his hands up to protect his face, squeaking, "Please don't punch me, I'm crying." Oh, man. Well, add insult to injury. When he didn't receive a response, or blossoming pain to his relief, the fox meekly peeked through his fingers to see Shadow's still drowsy eyes on him. The hedgie blinked a couple of times as if remembering where he was, and irritation replaced the homicide in his expression. Good. Shadow leaned back and lowered his fist. Ruby's narrowed down at the kid. "What you did was a mistake, Fox." Tails nodded, swallowing the golf-ball-sized lump in his throat. Ooh. Ouch. I'm, fully aware of that. He then realized that he was still basically pinned to the floor. "Can you get off me now?" Shadow ignored him. He blinked a couple more times to get rid of the tired fog lingering in his mind. The Rota's not-so-happy gaze swept the room because he knew that it wasn't Tails' genius idea to wake him up. Shadow locked eyes with Sonic because no matter what, it was always the faker. Well, that's kind of rude. His voice was rough as he growled, "Who in the heck gave you the idea to disrupt my..." Sonic held his hands up innocently. The dull ache of his bruises had gone down somewhat. "It wasn't me this time, Shads. We all got the idea from..." The blue hedgehog gestured to nothing in particular. "The thing." Which is basically what they're calling the thing that's trapping them there. They're just calling it the thing. And no, don't get it confused with the rock, with the awesome rock guy from the Fantastic Four. That guy's awesome. I don't care if his name is simplistic. He's awesome. Don't joke about the thing, or else it's clobbering time. And you don't want to be clobbered. Yeah, Shadow snapped his focus back on Tails, who was wringing his fingers together. Which is doing this, right? Wringing your fingers together, like this. Yeah. Okay, anyway. Who was wringing his fingers together? "The episode you fell asleep on finished, and we couldn't keep going until you woke up." Shadow bit his tongue to keep from spouting out rather interesting words that the thing surely wouldn't appreciate. Yeah, no. I'd censor it if you did, but still, we don't need that. Especially around an 8-year-old. Watch your mouth, Shadow. He stiffly stood up, giving the kid space. He kept all thoughts and actions as leashed as he could, gathering his discarded stress ball. It was a necessity at this point to keep him sane, and the still-chilled bag of peas that he'd been unfairly separated from. The ice pack because he and Sonic fought, and they got a lot of bruises. Yeah, sorry, I probably should have mentioned that. Forgot to. I remember now. Okay. Inwardly seething, the striped Hedgie collapsed back on the couch, sinking into the cushion. One hand held the peas up to his black eye, and the other attacked the ball like it was the sole reason Maria had died. Oh, that's deep. That's deep. Yeah. He didn't bother laying down again, knowing that he'd unintentionally nod off. Huh. Yeah, don't go back to sleep. Everyone was looking at him. He kept his lips sealed and glared at the TV. Tails put a hand on his rapidly beating heart as he sat up, feeling like he'd just run a marathon. Ooh, apparently Tails almost had a heart attack. For a second there, my life flashed before my eyes. I don't... oh crud, how do I do this? You know what, I'm not even gonna bother with Amy's voice. No, I'm not doing that today. I don't doubt it. Amy released... Okay, maybe I will have to do it because my brain works that way. I don't doubt it. Amy released a breath that she didn't know she was holding. She had learned something today. While depriving Sonic of sleep would be adorable, doing the same to Shadow just might put you 6 feet under. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Run away. Run away. Yeah. And people wonder why Shadow isn't... and if anybody... Well, I guess people don't wonder, but... Because they never really asked me, but... Yeah, Shadow's not exactly one of my ultimate favorites. No pun intended. You know, because he's the ultimate life form. But, well, apparently, you know, according to Sonic, whatever. Sonic cheekily grinned at the grumpy hog. He struggled to get on his feet, some bruises pulling uncomfortably. He made sure to grab the ice pack. The Azure Speedster approached the now roomy couch and plopped down onto it beside Shadow, reveling on how soft it was compared to the floor. He then patted the spot next to him, raising a questioning brow at Tails. The fox was looking at him like he was insane. He couldn't be surprised, though. Sonic always barreled into life-threatening situations without a second thought. But he joined his brother anyway. Sonic was a barrier between Shadow and the kid, so he was moderately safe. Okay, so Tails is now scared of Shadow. Yay! Because just what all 8-year-olds need. To be afraid of someone. As if Tails' past wasn't bad enough. Like, seriously, have you guys ever read the Archie comics on his backstory? That is some depressing stuff. From what I've heard, in, like, from, like, Death Battle and from other YouTubers. The Fox was looking at... Oh, wait, I already read that. Okay, so he was moderately safe. It's nice to see that you worked on your self-control, Shads, Sonic chirped, nudging his darker furred neighbor. No one knew if he was mocking or being genuine or both. Probably both. Impressive. Though, you could have started a little earlier, he muttered, placing the ice on one of the purple splotches on his knee. Oh, yeah, let's not imagine that. There was no verbal response from Shadow. He simply crushed the ball with his trembling fingers. Sonic opened his mouth to comment how rude it was to ignore people, and Knuckles jumped in before someone had to call emergency services. Let's just get the show on the road now that Shadow's awake. He held up the remote in his possession and found when a couple of strands fell off his glove. He had to bring this up. He had to bring this up. Oh, and Shadow, you owe me new gloves. Those molten scarlet snapped over to him, and Knuckles suddenly tensed, ready to duck for cover if that smiley stress ball became a deadly projectile. I don't owe you anything, Echidna, Shadow hissed, calculating each word and wondering if the Guardian had a death wish. He was too tired for this. You decided to intervene. Am I doing Shadow's voice pretty popularly? I mean, I imagine he's deep and it's somewhat aggressive. I mean, I've heard his voice, and it kind of doesn't sound like what I'm doing, but could you guys please let me know? Okay. Knuckles rolled his eyes. Because if I hadn't, Sonic would have been out cold. Thanks for the confidence, Knux. And we would have had to wait longer for him to wake up. Shadow's quills bristled and began to shred the cushion behind them. Tails grieved for the state of his furniture. We're waiting now because you won't press play. Knuckles knew that the other had a point, but still, they're really cheap at the thrift shop, so when we're freed, I swear if you don't play it, I will shove this all so far up your playing. Yo, recording a video. Bro, I'm recording a video here. Oh, for crying out loud. What do you want? I'm recording a video.
Hey.
Stop doing that. I gotta record, bro.
Hey, how you been?
Alright, Draco. Sorry, guys. You know, siblings, I guess. Don't care what you're doing. Alright, now, I've done this before, so I'm gonna explain it here again. When the episode begins, I say to bold, and then when I say out of bold, it's out, and then I say back to bold, meaning we're back in the show. So, now you got it. So, to bold. The bright overhead sun shone on an occupied sandy beach. Under a large umbrella were Sonic and Amy, relaxing in lounge chairs. Nearby, Sticks and Knuckles were playing volleyball. Out of bold. Sonic pointed at the screen. You were right, Knux. Sticks is gonna show up pretty often. The speedster then regarded a rigid shadow. The badger's name is Sticks. We learned that when you were sleeping. Oh wait, you don't know what happened at the end of the last episode. Faker, I don't care. The venom in his voice was enough to kill an elephant. And maybe even... I'm sorry. That is like... I'm well, I'm not literally dying, but you know how people say they're dying when they're laughing so hard? That is like so hilarious. Okay. So shut up. Okay, let's just move on. That's the joke. Okay. The Azure rodent wasn't fazed at all by this standoffish behavior, more than used to it. Oh, Shads, deep down I know that you... He didn't get to finish his sentence, for Shadow had ripped the bag of cool peas open and poured a gratuitous amount down Sonic's throat. Dude! That's... I almost said that's cold, but realized how much of a pun that would have been. You know, because they're frozen peas. You know, ice pack. The blue hero hacked the deadly vegetables back up in order to breathe, them being spat onto the floor. Ugh, Shadow, he wheezed. I could have died. Shadow snatched the unguarded ice pack and leaned it against his eye. Good. Sonic was too busy coughing to properly reclaim his property. My ice! My peas. Tails whined as he stood up, staring longingly at the empty ripped bag laying on the floor. So much for trying to eat healthy. Oh. That's actually pretty cool. Tails is kind of like one of those kind of people. Like, not only does he have, like, the chicken scratch handwriting, but, as read earlier in the story, but now he tries to eat healthy, too? That's cool. So much for trying to eat healthy, he murmured to himself as he picked it up, trying to avoid stepping on the peas. I'll get you another pack, Sonic. He would clean the peas later because he knew that those wouldn't be the only mess on the floor by the end of this. Thanks, little bro. Well, it's Gak. Like G-A-K, like Gawk, I guess. But I don't know. I guess a cough worked well enough. Anyway, Knuckles let out a long-winded sigh. We aren't even 10 seconds in. He glanced over at a slightly concerned Amy. Don't be surprised if Sonic ends up dead before we get to leave. Well, thanks a lot, Knuckles. Amy didn't want that. Marrying a corpse was probably illegal and highly... What? Really? You would marry him even if he was dead? Amy, I knew you were crazy, but that is just borderline insanity. It's like no matter where they are, they always mess with each other, can't they? And by they, she meant Shadow. Act civil for once? No, Knuckles grunted. It's physically impossible for them. Over on the other side of the pajama-clad Pinkette was Eggman, and he was rubbing his temples. He felt a migraine coming on. They were never going to leave this place, and he was going to go insane. He could see the headlines now. Dr. Eggman gone mental because of overexposure to just his crazy hedgehogs. Help him. When Tails returned with well, technically it doesn't say just help him. There's another word in front of it, but I mean, the word is chaos, but I don't really want to use it because is chaos considered like God in the Sonic thing? Like I know that's what like Eggman calls him in like Sonic Adventure 1. I mean, he's the only character that does it, and I'm still iffy about that to this day, but still, does that really make chaos like equal to like the like so chaos is basically like God for the Sonic world? I don't think that's where this is going, but still, it's just making me iffy, so I'm not gonna say it like that. Sorry, Kyuubi, I'm just gonna point that out, and to all you guys watching this. When Tails returned with ice, he saw Sonic about to throw a pea at Shadow's face. The kid hurriedly shuffled over and shoved the pack into his brother's hands. Sonic smiled appreciatively at him as he sat down, dropping the mini projectile. Sometimes, just sometimes, Tails wished that Sonic had more common sense. Probably what my brother thinks of me in a nutshell. Alright, back to bold. Oh, did I ever say out of bold? Yeah, I think I did. Sorry, it's been a while. My bad. Sorry. But yeah, that whole entire thing was out of bold. You know where it started. I probably did say it. My bad. Anyway, back to bold. There's nothing like a lazy day on the beach, Sonic uttered happily, his fingers linked behind his head. The brown volleyball bounced towards Amy, so she put down the book she had been reading to throw it back. Sticks caught it and released a content sigh. It's nice to breathe in that beautiful saltwater air and relax. For the first time, I feel totally stress-free. Out of bold. And by the way, sorry if Styx' voice is like that. Her voice is crazy, you know. I'm not that good at doing Sonic voices, especially not the female voices, so bear with me. Anyway, out of bold. Don't doubt it. Knuckles absently tossed the remote up and down. Last time she was a total nutcase. Amy rolled her eyes. Not total, more like half. Tails shook his head. Definitely more than that. 2/3? She snapped her fingers at him, nodding in affirmation. Yeah, 2/3 in that case. Back to bold. Hey guys, Tails greeted off screen. Styx shrieked and crouched low, freaking out because of the sudden voice. Out of bold. Sonic chuckled. That was totally Knuckles. He wondered if the other echidna... Styx shrieked and crouched low, freaking out because of the sudden voice. Sonic chuckled. That was totally Knuckles. He wondered if the other echidna acted the same way around that glorified rock of his. Oh, because of the emerald. Okay, now I get it. Back to bold. The kid was pushing something covered with a tan cloth forward. I just perfected my most brilliant invention yet. He gestured to the blanketed object. Meet UT, the Universal Translator. Tails threw the cloth off to reveal a robot with 2 dishes extended from his head, designed to translate any language into our own. Out of bold. That's actually pretty cool. Amy leaned forward in her seat. You could go anywhere without a language barrier. Tails nodded enthusiastically. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't thought of that yet. just think of all the cool stuff I could learn from different professors now that nothing's lost in translation. Wow. Sonic patted his stomach, and it would be so much easier to order those delicious dumplings from Chunan? Is that a reference I'm not getting? Is that a place in the real world? Oh, is that from Sonic Unleashed? And is it like some place like basically representing Asia or something? No offense to any like Asian people out there, whatever. Like no offense to anyone actually, but still, I'm not 100% on these Sonic games. I have never actually beaten Unleashed. He imagined chowing down on one of those delectable treats, and he knew that those were the first things he was going to eat after being freed. You might forget that. I mean, you're going to be there for quite a while watching those episodes. Okay. It isn't that difficult to find a translator in different countries, Shadow grunted, not understanding the hype. What makes you think that a robot is better than the people that actually are bilingual? Well, Shadow does have a point. You're kind of making people lose their jobs that way. I mean, people probably study for a long time to learn that. I mean, I speak English and a little bit of Spanish, not 100%, but, and yeah, it's not easy to learn how to do that. So, Shadow does have a point there, I'll give him that. A robot wouldn't be a buzzkill, Sonic huffed. Would it kill you to compliment somebody? Yes. Oh, Shadow. Oh, Shadow the Hedgehog. I like you so much better in alternate reality and Reality Breach. And Sonic Adventure 2. Even though that's actually... Okay, beware the hatred coming my way. Flame shields up, but I actually really don't like Sonic Adventure 2 that much. I mean, granted it's Sonic's 10th anniversary game and some of the levels can be fun, but I prefer just the other games in general. Sonic Adventure 1 is better than Sonic Adventure 2. I'm just gonna say it. And that's not even because of the whole popular thing. The first time I ever played Sonic Adventure 1 and then hopped on to Sonic Adventure 2, I was like, yeah, did the graphics go downhill? I'm not really digging this. Sonic Adventure 1 was better. I like Sonic Adventure 1 more. Anywho, back to Bold. Sonic, Sticks, and Amy silently blinked at the bot, unimpressed. Out of Bold. Harsh crowd, aren't they? Knuckles frowned. At least Sonic should be hyping up his little brother. Maybe that Tails has had too many busts in the past? That was the only explanation he could think of. Back to Bold. Allow me to demonstrate. Tails directed his friend's attention to a bird nest. The mother bird was feeding her young. The universal translator observed the avians before turning to the heroes. The fact that you pre-chew my food is repulsive. That's actually a little disturbing and actually really gross now that I really think about it. Okay. Out of Bold. Tails' eyes sparkled. That just became 10 times cooler. It can translate any kind of verbal communication? I seriously have to put this on my list of inventions. Despite his excitement, Amy was looking a bit green in the face. Didn't you hear what the baby bird said, though? It is really disgusting if you think about it. Sonic tapped his chin. Do you guys think that the Babylon... oh, no. No. Knuckles inwardly gagged. He did not want the picture of Moby and Bird spitting mushy food into each other's mouths. Oh no. Too late. No, we don't want to think that. Back to Bold. Hey, Knuckles chuckled in awe. It works. UT translated it as, didn't see that one coming. Wait, that's not what he sounds like. Didn't see that one coming. Because I don't know. The only line I can really think of that I remember from him is like, I'm stupid and ugly too, but not as ugly as Sticks. So yeah, I'm not that good at this. Anyway, out of Bold. It does thoughts too? Tails exclaimed. Interesting. Eggman commented, actually intrigued about this piece of machinery. If used right in the care of an evil mastermind like himself, he could potentially plan for any attack the heroes come up with before they even struck. Eggman would have to modify the one shown on screen, of course, but it had potential. Too bad that the other doctor was going to screw it up somehow. Yeah, mess it up. Looks like you're not as smart as you think you are, Fox. How did this version of you that allows sleepovers come up with it before you did? Well, granted, it's 6 years in the future, so yeah. Or you did. Instead of feeling insulted, Tails pulled from the many years of hanging around Sonic and his witty comebacks to say, how did you, the man who basically lives off making robots, not think of this before? Is the other me smarter than you? Tails, that you is smarter than Eggman. That's been proved. Sonic barked out a laugh while Eggman growled, a vein pulsing in his forehead. I would throw you this ice pack for your burn... Sonic said that, my bad. Sonic barked out a laugh while Eggman growled, a vein pulsing in his forehead. I would throw you this ice pack for your burn, Eggy, but I kinda need it. Eggman angrily pointed. You'll see. You'll all see. When I destroy you, you'll regret ever taunting me. Sonic waved him off. If that's what helps you sleep at night, back to Behold. Knuckles scratched his head. It's still talking? I thought this thing only translated birds, UT added on. Since what you're saying doesn't need to be translated, Tails proudly explained, UT is translating it into what you really mean. I didn't intend for it to do that, UT muttered, but I will gladly accept full credit. Out of bold. Tails snickered at that. Of course he gets full credit. Accident or not, he made a pretty awesome bot. I have to step my game up. I think we're back to Bold now. That's great, Tails, Amy complimented, but something was off in her tone. UT called her out on it. Pretty lame. Out of Bold. Amy gasped, shocked. What is she talking about? It's like having the power to read people's minds. I think it's special. That Amy is pretty critical, Knuckles stated, which is ironic because she practically was all over Eggman last episode. Don't say it like that, both the Pink Cat and Doctor yelled out. Now very aware that she was beside said man, Amy quickly hopped out of her seat and motioned for Knuckles to slide over. Scoot! The echidna creased his brow. But I don't want scoot over or so help me, she suddenly screeched, and Knuckles silently obeyed, having forgotten how crazy this girl could get sometimes, and how bad her hammer hurt. Yeah. Amy beamed at him before sitting back down. Thanks. Back to Bold. Amy was starting to sweat. That's not what I was thinking at all. Man, I am totally busted. Wait, did that actually happen in the show? Like, this is actually funny now that I'm reading it. She was not amused. Tails, I think that it needs some more work. If that thing doesn't shut its metal trap, I think I might die. Out of Bold. Sonic had a devious smile on his face. Oh man, wouldn't that thing be great for pranks? Or finding out embarrassing secrets to blackmail with? For example, Shad's here. Shadow wanted to block out his rival's words, but Sonic was right there, so it was basically impossible. What if when he says, I am the ultimate life form, fear me, but he really means, he really means, I just farted and I actually need all of you to clear that up. Oh man, I know that that's supposed to be trash talk, but I really don't want to think about that with video game characters, especially video game animals, so please, let's just skip that. It's kind of funny though. Shadow went from being exasperated because of Sonic's horrible impression of him to being mortified as the room was filled with snickers. What the heck? He snarled, which contrasted the embarrassed flush of cheeks. I would never. Everyone passes gas, pal. Sonic patted the other side of his shoulder. Even ultimate life forms. Move your hand if you want to keep your arm. Oh, Sonic patted the other on his shoulder. Even the ultimate life forms. even ultimate life forms. Move your hand if you want to keep your arm. Sonic wisely ceased contact. I'm just saying, Shads, it's a natural thing. Yeah, it kinda is. Eggman was the only one not laughing, this new topic making him imagine a situation he did not want to be in. While you're joking around, Rodin, if one of us was indeed bubbly, then we are trapped in here with it. With it. The Azure Hedgie smile dropped, and the laughter faded away as the doctor's words sunk in. Sonic then thrusted a finger in the direction of the bathroom. Anyone... Okay, I'm gonna read this in my head, but I really don't feel like reading this out loud. Hopefully the thing isn't sadistic enough to let us choke on the fumes. Bathroom fumes, because oh man, farts. Oh man. I'm sorry. I said I wouldn't, but when I started laughing, I knew I had to explain myself. Sorry, guys. Hopefully I'm not a hypocrite. You guys understand. Death by platoon. I don't know what that word means. I'm guessing it means by farts. Knuckles scrunched his nose in disgust. Not the most pleasant way to go out. Tails wrung his fingers together. But what's the possibility of that happening? Let's just keep watching. Eggs didn't cause people to be gassy, right? Oh, please. Back to Bold. Wait, Six pointed at the small mech. This thing reads minds? UT translated rather uselessly. Wait, this thing reads minds? Get it out of my head, the badger screamed. Get it out of my head. Didn't she say, get it out of my head in the TV show? Out of Bold. Well, she's completely honest, Knuckles pointed out. That's one thing she's got going for her. He watched as she pulled out a boomerang. She would have clubbed the bod if the other him hadn't restrained her. The Guardian deadpanned. And she's quick to attack. I guess that's another. Sonic winked at the echidna. She's basically a female you, Nux. Sonic, if you compare me to her one more time. Back to Bold. Now, Knuckles chastised, holding on to the feistier one. Calm down, Sticks. Take it easy, whack job. Hey. Oh, that was UT. Take it easy, whack job. Hey! Sticks barked indignantly at UT. I am displeased. Sonic tried to face the situation. Don't be offended, Sticks. Knuckles didn't mean to think that. UT rolled up to him. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. Knuckles growled, insulted. Oh no, out of Bold. Sonic tapped his foot, frowning up as he positioned the ice on his stomach. Why is everyone getting so riled up? We say insults to each other's faces all the time and no one gets offended. Knuckles scoffed. Actually, you're the only one who does it, and you were the only one we do it to. But I get what you're saying. Things are getting pretty heated. So basically, Sonic's the only one who insults everyone else, and everyone else insults Sonic, but nobody ever, insults any other way. Huh. Well, that is kind of Sonic's personality, so... Anyway, back to Bold. Tails, I think it's best if you shut that thing off, Amy strictly advised. We don't want it to reveal anything too sensitive. UT beeped. Shut that thing up before it tells Sonic that Tails powered it off. Low. What was he saying? Sonic asked, not understanding. Amy frantically waved her hands and chuckled nervously. Nothing important. Out of Bold. Nothing important? Nothing important! A fire blazed in Amy's jade orbs. Since when is declaring your devoted love to the one you cherish most nothing important? She wanted to jump into the screen and slap some sense into her other self. Shyness would get her nowhere. She needs to take charge and never give up. True love conquers all. Yeah, you literally said stalk, Amy. Sorry, you lost. If I was Sonic and Amy was a real girl, I'd try to tell her nicely that she needs to, calm down a bit. Because if I had a girl constantly like that on me, I'd run. I would. I understand Sonic so much with this. The others couldn't even be surprised about her rather intense outburst. What threw Sonic off, however, was that the other him seemed oblivious to it. He's thinking this, not saying it. Come on, other me. You have to know so you can learn the warning signs and get the heck out of Dodge. Save yourself. By the way, where did that line originate from? Get the heck out of Dodge. Somebody please tell me. Knuckles was silently leaning away from Amy. Knuckles was slightly leaning away from Amy. Are you done? No, I've never done loving Sonic. Oh, do you mean with my speech? Amy crossed her ankles and nodded. Then yeah, I'm done. For now. Back to Bold. A little distance away, a robot shaped like a bug had been recording the scene. The setting changed to Eggman's lair, said Doctor and his two helper bots watching the crew bicker on a large screen. Very interesting, he hummed. It seems Tails' new invention is creating friction between Sonic and his friends. Yeah, Q-Bot, who was standing beside him, concurred. And they're not getting along either. Out of Bold, Eggman exhaled harshly. This is why I had trashed those robots. They're completely idiotic and a waste of time and energy to maintain. Sonic had to agree. Yeah, they weren't your best work, Eggy. Not that your best isn't that great either. The man refrained from pulling his stash hair out. Did I ask you, rodent? Nope, he chirped, but I answered. Eggman had a full-on migraine now, and he knew that it wasn't going to go away anytime soon. Oh, crud. Oh, no, this is bad. Guys, I've been sitting crisscross applesauce this entire time. I think pretty much this entire time, and now my left foot is asleep. Oh, great. That's not comfortable. Oh, yeah, that hurts. Oh, that's not comfortable at all. Okay, just continue the story, Foxtrot. Sorry, hand over camera. I'm gonna try to scroll up this way. There we go, that's better. Use your left hand. Alright. Back to Bold. This gives me an idea, Eggman told them. If I build a duplicate robot to replace the original, I could have it say whatever I want. They'll be at each other's throats in no time, and with the group divided, I can destroy them once and for all. Out of Bold, Tails tilted his head. That wouldn't work, right? Other selves wouldn't trust a robot over their friends. Knuckles shrugged. Given what we've seen, it's possible. It doesn't matter that it is a smart plan. Eggman couldn't help but refute. All he has to do is take the robot, modify it so it has broader range, and he slumped, massaging his forehead. And I'm just going to have to watch him fail again, don't I? You're used to it though, so it's okay. Eggman ignored Sonic's jab with effort, and he mentally patted himself on the back. Back to Bold. Eggman laughed evilly, but when Orban and Q-Bot joined in, he cut them off. Don't laugh with me. You're ruining it. It was now nighttime, and Tails was in his house sitting in a chair. I thought he was sitting on his bed. Is my memory not right? I thought he was sitting on his bed. He spoke to his new robot. Wow, UT. My friends normally love my inventions. I can't believe you had such a lousy debut. He laid down. Oh, he laid down. I'm guessing that's supposed to say he laid down. He lay down inside, like with it in his. He laid down with it in sight. I think that's what it's supposed to say. UT's monotone filled the air. I blame myself. Out of Bold. Tails felt bad for his other self. His invention was great. He shouldn't beat himself up over it. Beat himself up for it. Okay, I know that I should get to the story, but I'm gonna actually say this. I'm actually one of those people who beats myself up for certain things like this. Like, I beat myself up for a lot of things, actually. Like, you know what I mean, like, make yourself feel down about it, certain things. I mean, not really about YouTube or anything, but, like, some things in, like, life I have beat myself up for. But I think it's all good. I just thought I'd mention it. Alright, anyway, back to Bold. The kid shook his head. No, no, if it's anyone's fault, it's mine. After all, I was the one who... Oh, wait. He sat up and faced the Meg. You were just saying my thoughts, huh? I feel like such a dummy. Tails shut UT off. Things will go better tomorrow, I promise. Good night, UT. The kid yawned and fell asleep. Out of Bold. There he goes, jinxing things again. Amy trailed off, feeling terrible for the little guy. Back to Bold. Orbot and Cubot, seeing that he's sleeping, snuck in and switched UT out for a duplicate. Tails moved a bit, but didn't wake up. The robots crept back out, leaving behind the fake. Out of Bold. Sonic scratched his nose. You called it, Ames! Back to Bold. It was daytime again, and most of the friends were on the beach. Sonic, Knuckles, and Amy were resting under the umbrella while Styx was bouncing the volleyball by herself. It was the Badger who noticed the approaching Tails and UT first. Annoyance flashed across her face. Okay, Tails began. I know things got off on the wrong foot yesterday, but Sonic, now awake, interrupted him. Tails, I think it would be best if you turned UT off. Out of Bold. Jeez, can't he let Tails speak first? Sonic groused. I mean, come on. Let's just rename the episode Everyone Be Unfair to Tails, the kid murmured. No offense, Tails, but the entire series is about... You're hated for pretty much the entire series. Anyway, back to Bold. The fake UT spoke. Amy Rose is a big dope. Amy glared at Sonic. Oh, so now that's what you're thinking. The shark speedster held his hands up innocently. What? No, not even close. Out of Bold. Knuckles couldn't help but to think that this was nice payback. Although, that Amy was quick to turn on Sonic even though she loves him. The air quotes were clearly heard. Sonic would never call me that, Amy humped. Overly attached friend? Yes. Dope? No. So I would know immediately that something was wrong. Back to Bold. Eggman was watching through the screen again and was speaking for the replica of UT through a microphone. And her hair stinks. What does she shampoo with? Yogurt from the back of the fridge? Out of Bold. Oh yeah. Amy sniffed her quills. They smelled like roses, not like a most likely expired dairy product. If anyone smelled like that, it would be Eggman. Yes. Make fun of the bad guy, I guess. I mean, I don't make fun of anybody in real life, no matter how bad of a person you would be, but let's just keep on going. Back to Bold. Why would you even say that? Amy yelled, getting into Sonic's face. But I didn't say that, he pointed to the small bot. He did. Out of Bold. Yup, looks like one of Eggy's plans are working for it. Yep, looks like one of Eggy's plans are working for a change. Sonic threw the human a mocking grin. Want a pen so you can take some notes? The doctor took off his other slipper and hurled it in Sonic's direction, inwardly cursing when the rodent stuck out his tongue, expertly dodging. He was running out of things to throw. Back to Bold. Knuckles rolled his eyes. Sure you didn't. I'm stupid. Hey, the echidna exclaimed, glaring at the bot. Out of Bold. I mean, he's not wrong. Knuckles leaned his elbows on his knees. Excuse me, chin resting in a palm. Yeah, he hadn't reached that first episode level of stupid yet, but the fact that he doesn't smell something fishy after that's just terrible. Something fishy after that is just terrible. Excuse me, sorry. It just looks like he's Oh, wait, that's not Sonic, my bad. It just looks like he's gullible, Tails observed. And when we first met you, well... It was a whole different situation then, Knuckles nearly growled, not wanting to be reminded of his regrettable past actions. Not really, Sonic said, flippantly. Both of you fell for Baldi's schemes. The Guardian gestured violently at the screen. The other you fell for it too. Sonic wagged a finger. But I never have. Actually, Sonic, Hush, Tails, I'm winning an argument here. Aw, come on. Knuckles just hubbed, giving up for now. He was better convincing with his fists than words anyway. He'd deliver his side of the argument later to not extend their time stuck here any longer. Anyway, back to Bold. The fake UT continued, and, I'm ugly too, but not as ugly as Sticks. The Badger growled before tackling Knuckles and basically trying to detach his head from his shoulders. Ow! The red one shouted, "Get off of me!" Out of Bold. Actually, with that level of violence, she's more of a mixture of Knuckles and Shed. Say one more word, Faker, and you'll wish that you had never been born. Exactly my point. Oh, man. Shadow is pretty violent, though. I mean, although it did make him having guns in Shadow the Hedgehog pretty accurate. Wow, this video is going to be on for a while. Alright, back to Bold. Eggman was laughing evilly at what he saw in his lair. Now this is going nicely. The real UT rolled over to him. Dr. Eggman is a genius. The human was clearly impressed. Hey, I like your style. You're the only one who understands me. I think we've seen enough of this. Eggman turned off the TV showing the still feuding heroes to give UT his full attention. Let's turn off the monitors and focus on praising Dr. Eggman. Said man smiled. Out of Bold. Eggman just shook his head in exasperation. He hadn't sunk that low in needing someone to always praise him after loss, saving him from the sad void of defeat every time that annoying hedgehog got the best of him. Maybe he did need to invest in one of those. Back to Bolt. I'll cry. Did I ever say out of Bold? My bad. The whole Eggman just shook his head in exasperation. You know that's out of Bold. Anyway, back to Bold. Back with the Anthros, Amy hadn't backed down yet. Sonic the Hedgehog, I can't believe you think those awful things. Sonic was just as agitated. So now you're gonna trust some bucket of bolts over me? So wait, Knuckles scratched his head. Who called me stupid? I called me stupid? Out of Bold. There it is, Knuckles sighed out. He's back to being an idiot. But why he's thinking now. But why though? Why was he like that? Had he hit his head too many times protecting the Master Emerald? Wherever it was? And then there's some other stuff that I'm not going to go into here. Anyway, back to Bold. Six then spoke up. Don't you see? This is what it wants us to do. Her voice raised in volume. The robo-apocalypse is nigh. I know Sticks is supposed to be some sort of a conspiracy theorist here. But actually some conspiracy theories in the real world are actually kind of true. Anyway, wow, why did I go into that there? I guess for some reason I was thinking that a robo-apocalypse was possible. I don't know. I mean, we kind of are in a robotic age, so to speak. The age of machines. Oh, my legs. Anyway, out of Bold. Tails blinked. Wow. So she's a mix of Knuckles, Shadow, and Charmy hyped up on sugar? He slightly hid behind Sonic when he was suddenly on the receiving end of two sets of glares. The blue blur chuckled. You hit it in the head, Tails. Oh, man. Anyway, back to Bold. Sonic and Amy stared blankly at Sticks for a moment before going back to arguing. The Big Cat pointed a finger in the Azure Hedgehog's face. After everything I do for you, you don't appreciate me? Why am I even here? Out of Bold. Knuckle rose a brow at that. You two are seriously arguing like you're a married couple. Amy danced a bit in her seat. We totally are. Did this mean that something was actually happening between the two? She couldn't wait to find out. There's definitely some lover's tension there. You guys are looking way too far into this. Sonic's words were fast and nearly incomprehensible. He didn't care. He was too busy being in denial. Well, it's just two friends arguing. Nothing special. He's thinking now. I believe in you, Other Me. Don't cross over to the dark side. Oh, best Star Wars reference you can make ever. Don't cross to the dark side. Alright, I got it. Tails frowned up a bit. I don't know, Sonic. Hush, Tails. I'm trying not to freak out here. Why you gotta keep making him shut up, man? You're kind of being a bit of a hypocrite here. I mean, I guess different situations and stuff, but still. What on earth is going on here? Okay, I'm just gonna move on. Sorry, something's up with my screen. Um, anyway, back to Bold. I know my friends wouldn't think such horrible things about each other. Maybe UT's malfunctioning, Tails muttered to himself, turning to the robot. He used a screwdriver to open the mech up. He gasped in surprise. What the heck? I didn't install a remote speaker. The speaker was shown and had an Eggman logo on it. Out of Bold. There went that plan, Eggman thought, though it was destined to fail from the start. The Doctor should learn from this, however. Logos, while they let everyone know exactly which evil mastermind was delivering their doom, were probably something to let go. Back to Bold. Oh, did I ever say out of Bold? Man, sometimes I just can't get my head straight on these things. Anyway, out of Bold. Back to Bold. Tails ripped it out and yelled to the others, You guys, stop! We've been duped! Eggman swiped UT and replaced him with this imposter. They all stopped fighting to look at him. We gotta go save the real UT, Tails said with determination. He began to run off, but paused when he realized that no one was following. Don't you guys want to get UT back? Sonic placed a hand on his hip. Thing is, Bud, that robot of yours makes us fight all the time. Out of Bold. So basically, he's not going to have Tails rescue his bot. Oh, wait. So basically, he's going to have Tails rescue his bot from the heart of Eggman's base by himself. Sonic pursed his lips, not liking this. Though he was more than glad that argument with the other him and Amy hadn't moved into darker territory. Sonic inwardly shuddered. Great plan. Yep, that'll go smoothly. Tails peered up at his big bro. You would have went with me, right, Sonic? Sonic giggled before giving him one of these, I guess. Sure would have, Bud. No matter how annoying the robot is. Tails giggled as he fought to free himself from one of these. I used to be given these all the time as a kid, actually. Anyway, back to Bold. It's evil, I tell ya, Sticks reiterated. Tails' face fell. Fine, I see how it is. I'll go get him back myself. He then ran off. The kit was now spreading over Eggman's island, heading for the entrance of the lair. I want to point something out here. His island is surrounded by water. Did Tails, run on water or something? Because the plane is never seen at all in that scene. So did Tails actually move fast enough to run on water? I mean, I know he can do that in the Sonic Boom game, but still, did he actually do that? Because that's pretty cool. Peering around, and also it's just not explained, so I'm curious. Anyway, heading for the entrance of the lair, peering around the corner. Wow, that just sounded really bad. I'm so sorry. Peering around a corner, he spotted a patrolling Motobug. Tails ducked behind the rock when the robot looked his way, and he smacked it with a wrench when it came to investigate. When it broke, Tails resumed his trek. Out of Bold. He's doing well so far, Tails pondered aloud, having escaped Sonic's hold. Back to Bold. I didn't say out of Bold, did I? My bad. Out of Bold, he's doing well so far, Tails pondered aloud, having escaped Sonic's hold. Back to Bold. Inside the base, Eggman was holding out a piece of cake shaped like his face to UT. Would you like another slice of cake? UT beeped. What a beautiful cake. I hope no one sits on it. Tails cocked his head. Out of Bold. Tails cocked his head. Why would he even... Back to Bold. Eggman sat the dessert on a nearby table just as Tails fell through the skylight, landing square on it. Anyway, out of Bold. Tails laughed along with the others, sans Shadow, who was too tired to tell the rest to shut up, and Eggman, who actually felt a tinge of sadness. That cake looked very delicious, and he could go for one right now to distract him from his madness. Back to Bold. Tails held up a fist. Eggman! Landing in that cake really hurt my credibility. Out of Bold. Sonic was fighting to control his chuckles. Yeah, but it still was awesome. The other Eggman looked like he'd eaten one too many cakes anyway. He didn't need it. Oh, yeah. Just throw a fat joke out there. Alright. Anyway, back to Bold. Not now, UT. The fox frowned before throwing a slice of cake at the robot, shutting it off. Tails jumped off the table and demanded, "Give me back my robot." Eggman stood up, now looming over him. Or what? Tails hesitated. That's a fair question. I mean, come on. No, out of Bold. Wait, why didn't Tails just swoop in, take the robot? Oh, wait, that's Amy, my bad. Wait, why didn't Tails just swoop in, take the robot, and fly back out? Amy didn't know what their alternate selves were thinking sometimes. That would have been a lot easier. Maybe UT's too heavy, Tails provided? Or maybe they just want to make everything harder for themselves, Knuckles uttered before glancing over at his human neighbor. Eggman, with them acting like that, maybe you'll get to see yourself win. For once. I doubt it, Eggman and Sonic said at the same time. Back to Bold. And I'm pretty sure I did say out of Bold. I don't know, for some reason I can't get... Ow! Hurt my arm. Anyway, back to Bold. More robots appeared and surrounded Tails. Where's that blue loser? The doctor inquired. And the rest of your friends? I'm here alone. I came to negotiate the release of my robot, UT. Negotiate? Eggman rubbed his chin. Usually we just battle until the losing party. Sometimes you, sometimes me. It's about a 50-50 split. Retreats to his lair. Out of Bold. That was the worst lie Sonic's ever heard. 50-50? Not even close. The only thing that's 50-50 is whether Eggman cries or not after every day. Oh! Yeah, you just got burned, Egghead. I do not cry. Eggman slammed a fist on the arm of the couch. Though he did take... I'm not reading that because I don't want to imagine that, and I'm pretty sure you guys don't either. I'm a grown man, Sonic. The Azure speedster smirked. Who always gets busted by a bunch of kids, right? And a grandpa, he added as an afterthought, snickering at Shadow's irked expression. Because Shadow's over 50, yet he looks like, I don't know. He looks to be about Sonic's age. I mean, I know he's 50, but the way he sounds, he kind of just sounds like he's like a young man, or maybe just like a young adult, like 21 or something. Shadow didn't even know why he opened his mouth. Sonic had been baiting him. He really needed sleep if he had to constantly deal with him. In case you've forgotten, Hedgehog, I had remained in stasis for 50 years. Sonic's eyes widened. Oh yeah, that's right, that's even better. Eggman, you've been beaten by a bunch of kids and a toddler. No! No! Shadow gritted his teeth. His rival was supposed to be taunting the doctor, not him. You've been beaten by a toddler too, Faker. Today even. So be quiet before this toddler does something he probably won't regret. Sonic blinked before huffing. You're no fun, Shads. Oh, Sonic. Back to Bold. Tails had his hands on his hips. Oh, sorry. Left hand. Here we go. Tails had his hands on his hips. Let's pretend that's true and that you don't always lose. In exchange for the safe return of my robot, he gestured to himself, I'm prepared to offer my services as your lab assistant. Intriguing, Eggman stroked his mustache. With two mechanical geniuses under one roof. Out of Bold, Tails perked up. Was that a compliment? Eggman growled. Not from me. Back to Bold. I'd raised my win ratio well above the 50-50 mark that we both agreed earlier was completely accurate. Out of Bold, Sonic quietly snorted. The other Eggman was seriously swimming waist deep in denial. Anyway, back to Bold. Then it's a deal? Tails asked. Eggman patted Orbot. I'll have Orbot draw up a contract. This will be delicious. Having one of Sonic's friends helping me build the tools that will destroy him. That's right with irony, your evilness, Orbot agreed. Sonic won't know what hit him. Alright, that's... Orbot. It actually kind of sounds British. Like a British robot. But wait, Eggman thought for a second. The moment Sonic realizes you're missing, he'll come bursting through that door with that circus troupe he calls friends, and put a damper on all the fun. Out of bold. Probably not. Amy's cheeks were puffed out, because they're too busy being haters and not congratulators. Knuckles gave her an amused look. You have a way with words, you know that? Amy smiled. I know. I try. Back to bold. Crud, I never said out of bold, did I? You know where... Yeah, actually, yeah. I don't know. I may have, I may not have. Anyway, continuing. Back to bold, Tails approached his stolen robot. I've already thought of that. Since you're letting UT go, I'll just send a message along with him. Out of bold. That's smart, Tails' namesake's right behind him, because then UT would translate what he says into what he really means. He probably planned that from the start. Knuckles could see where Tails was coming from. Okay, so I take back what I said before. Tails knows what he's doing, but the rest of his friends need some work. That's because Tails is the genius of the series. Anyway, back to bold. Good thinking, number 2. Eggman praised. Warbot nudged him. I thought I was number 2. Oh, please. I need a computer to find out where you fall in the pecking order. A laptop was suddenly there in the man's hold. Fortunately, I have one here. He made a few keystrokes. 347. Orbot slumped. Oh, no. Anyway, out of bold. He's thinking here, by the way. He can't be that upset, Sonic mused. He has to know that Nice and Eggman go together like Shadow and appreciating a joke for once. Oh, no. Oh, man. Sonic, you just gotta insult everybody, don't you? Anyway, back to bold. Tails pushed a button on UT, activating a video recorder. Hey, gang. It's Tails, he waved. I'm going to be staying with Eggman. No need to rescue me. I'm 100% safe and happy. Tails ended the recording. I'm out of bold. How did the other him not catch that? Eggman released a heavy sigh. This was torture. Oh, by the way, he thought that first sentence. Oh, that was out of bold, by the way. Okay, so Tails ended the recording, out of bold. How did the other him not catch that? Eggman's thinking there. Eggman released a heavy sigh. This was torture. Back to bold. Back on the beach, UT rolled up, approaching a lounging Amy and Knuckles. Hey, it's Tails' missing robot, the pinkhead observed. We found him, Knuckles smiled as everyone gathered around the bot. The Echidna pointed at UT. When you see Tails, tell him we looked everywhere for a long time. Out of bold. Knuckles simply rolled his eyes, having no words. Back to bold. Or we can just recycle the thing and take a blood oath never to tell a soul. What the heck? This just got really dark really fast. Everyone silently stared at the stakes. She shrugged. What? Just spitballing here. Anyway, out of bold. Sonic didn't know what else to say besides, yeah, she's got some shads in there. Nothing but hate flowed through Shadow's veins. Hate for what? Everything. Wow. Shadow, you need to work on that, because, like, that's just not good, bruh. Alright, that was out of bold, by the way. Just spitballing here, out of bold. Sonic didn't know what else to say besides, yeah, she's got some shads in there. Nothing but hate flowed through Shadow's veins. Hate for what? Everything. I'm speeding through this to get back. Back to bold. UT activated the message from Tails, the hologram of the fox floating over the sand. The recording repeated what the kid said earlier, and the crew was shocked. The small mech then translated it. I snuck into Eggman's lair to save my robot. It was awesome. You should have seen me. Anyways, I need you to come rescue me now. Sorry for the inconvenience. Well, Knuckles was impressed. UT really came in handy. Amy nodded. Maybe it's not as dumb an invention as we thought. Out of bold. And it only took for Tails to be put in serious danger to realize that, Knuckles deadpanned. Sonic stretched a bit, careful of his bruises. I won't say serious danger, Knuckles grunted. Whatever, you get my point. None of this would have happened if they went with him in the first place. The episode would have been over by now. I don't know about that, Knuckles, Tails started. The last two had lasted the same, I'm guessing that's supposed to be same amount of time. The Guardian groaned. This situation is just terrible. He just wanted to watch over the Master Emerald. Was that too much to ask? Back to Bold. Yeah, but we should still smash it, Sticks suggested, just to be safe. Sonic shook his head. No time for that now. We gotta go save Tails. Eggman's lair once more. The scientist was working on a smashed Bebop with Tails by his side. Tails, be a doll and plug my drill into that outlet over there. The kid grabbed the plug and glanced in the direction Eggman was pointing in. The outlet was sparking wildly. Tails frowned. That doesn't look very safe. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm having you do it, Eggman said like it was obvious. Eggman, you're a jerk. I mean, I know that's in the TV show, but I'm just gonna say it here. Like, when you read it on the paper, you're making Eggman out to be a jerk. Anyway, out of Bold, yeah. Probably the most sensible thing he said this whole time, Eggman commented. Honestly, he would do the same if he was in that position. No one liked being electrocuted. Yeah, so you'd and here's another thing. You'd electrocute the one character who, in the 1990... Was it 1999? I think it was the 1999 Sonic OVA. Tails is afraid of lightning. So, you do that to him? Okay. Whatever at this point. Anyway, back to Bold. Tails gulped but went for it anyway. Eggman sighed. It's nice having an assistant. An alarm began to blare, and a monitor dropped down to show Sonic destroying a Bebop right outside the base. Out of Bold. Woo! Sonic cheered as he sat straighter, eyes focused. Some action! Let's go! Sorry if that was a little loud there. Anyway, back to Bold. Amy hammered a Crabbot with a satisfied yell. Stick sidestepped another Bebop's blast until it was crushed by a smug Knuckles. A Motobug raced by and immediately was smashed by a spin-dashing Sonic. Yeah. UT attempted but failed to translate the action. Amy and Sticks then crushed a Bebop by kicking it simultaneously. They shared victorious grins. Out of Bold. Sonic couldn't help but to smile. No matter the universe, robots are no match for Team Sonic. Tails and Amy cheered while Knuckles smirked. Eggman grumbled under his breath, and Shadow really missed his bed. Oh, Shadow. Back to Bold. The entrance doors to the lair opened up, revealing a disgruntled Eggman and Tails. We're here to save our friend from your evil clutches, Sonic shouted. Wait, what? Confusion flashed over Eggman's face. No, Tails and I have a contract. Orbot then waltzed over, holding up a piece of paper. Here's the lab assistant contract, ready to be signed. Out of Bold. Eggman clutched his head before running his hands down his face, ignoring the laughter floating around the room. That man was such an embarrassment. He was ruining Eggman's good, though some would argue, name as a villain. It didn't matter if it was him or not. The heroes would never let him live this down. Anyway, back to Bold. Tails simply laughed and rejoined his friends. Fine, Eggman growled. Lucky thing I have a plan B. The ground rumbled and a huge bulky robot with one red eye, tank treads, and big hands approached them. Out of Bold. Sonic whistled only at the big bot. Still nothing we can't handle. Back to Bold. More Bebots flew over and blasted Tails and Knuckles with their stingers, the duo dodging the attacks. Amy pulled out her hammer and charged the Megabot, however, it knocked the weapon away with ease. It then raised a fist and attempted to crush the Pinkette. Amy, look out! Sonic sped over and got her out of the way just in time. Wow. Sonic was still holding Eggman, wow. Get your head on straight, Foxtrot. Sonic was still holding on to Amy when they put a safe distance between themselves and the machine. That was close, Sonic said, relieved. UT was nearby. I care about your well-being. Aww, Amy cooed, and Sonic gave her a grin. Out of Bold, and I have a feeling I know what's happening next. Mostly because I read a little bit. Amy shrieked Amy shrieked as she jumped to her feet, hopping up and down and pointing at the screen. What? It's happening! Oh my gosh, it's happening! Tails furrowed his brow. Wait, does that mean that they're actually a thing? His only answer was Amy shrieking again, unable to contain herself. Sonic couldn't breathe. like ACK, like ack. He clutched his chest. My heart! Amy clasped her hands together, giggling maniacally. It was so cute, before letting out a dreamy sigh. Is it swelling and warming up to the love in the air? No, I'm having a heart attack, because what, when, how, why, Sonic sputtered. He put a hand on his forehead, feeling lightheaded. When Amy danced some more, he knew that he had to put an end to this before she got any ideas. It's platonic. Yeah, it has to be. Friends caring about friends, right? Platonic. Watching Sonic freak out made up for Amy nearly shattering his eardrums. Knuckles snickered. Look more than platonic to me. Tails rubbed the back of his neck. The other Amy does act different, so... Whose side are you on? Sonic screeched. Shadow flattened his ears and snarled at him, but he couldn't care less. This is how I die, Sonic deduced. Forced to watch this nightmare, which is only gonna get worse because I know that won't be the only time. Wow. Wow, Sonic. That's a little dark. Amy suddenly pounced on him, landing in his lap. If they can do it, we totally can too. She leaned forward and Sonic wanted to disappear into the couch, especially since I know I love you more than she loves her, Sonic. The Pinkette, noticing that there was now an empty spot beside the speedster, settled down and nuzzled his side. Stiff, Sonic let at Shadow, who had moved to take Amy's former spot. Shadow, you traitor! Stop yelling, was all the Striped One had to say. The blue blur-faced Tails begging with his eyes. Help! He squeaked. Tails glanced between his bro and the girl on his arm. He regrettably shrugged him out. Sorry. Sonic suddenly winced when Amy squeezed him. He was doomed. Oh no. Kyuubi, I think you killed the character. I think you killed Sonic. You literally killed Sonic. Congratulations. Anyway, back to Bold. Sonic ran back to spin attack the Mega, only to bounce off and get hit. Knuckles was standing on one of its treads, punching but not making a dent. He growled before trying to grab it. That didn't work either. Man. Six fairly yelled and jumped at the robot, furtively whacking it with her boomerang until it knocked her away with a flick of its finger. Eggman chuckled evilly. Tails, deploy the photon bombs. Tails hopped over a blast from a rototic bee and gave the doctor a pointed look. Eggman suddenly remembered. Oh, right. Out of Bold. Sorry, this is just taking a little while. Sorry. That's not a bad thing. It's just I like reading these stories. I've got no problem. But doing them for videos apparently takes quite a while. And I'm kind of getting tired of sitting like this. Oh. Okay, there we go. Ow, my legs. I'm okay. Foxtrot's okay. Knuckles wasn't even watching the show at the moment, still entertained by Sonic's misfortune. Oh wait, did we say out of Bold? Out of Bold. Knuckles wasn't even watching the show at the moment, still entertained by Sonic's misfortune. Comfortable over there, Sonic? The hero didn't answer him, resisting the new yet inexplicably strong urge to... Whoa! Okay. Yeah, we're not saying that. Wow. Okay, we're not saying that. I'm really glad I caught myself. Yeah, let's not get into that. Back to Bold. The doctor released the bombs himself. They shot out of the Megabot and circled around the heroes. One targeted Tails, blowing up. The attacking B-Bot was destroyed and Tails was sent flying, rescued from craning off the cliff by UT. Another bomb landed between Knuckles and Amy, pushing the echidna back a bit and throwing Amy into Sonic's arms. I know how this is gonna go. Out of Bold. Amy happily squealed in Sonic's ear, wiggling around. The speedster tried to peel her off, but she had a vice grip. Hopefully the thing would pity him. Oh man, I feel for Sonic at this moment. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Back to Bold. I did say out of Bold, didn't I? Oh well. You guys know where it's out of Bold. I think. You know where Amy squealed in Sonic's ear. Anyway, keep going. Anyway, back to Bold. Sticks! Set Knuckles up, Sonic shouted. The Badger hit the third bomb into the air. Knuckles jumped up high and spiked the spear into the Mega's eye. The bomb exploded, thrusting the robot backwards. It toppled off the cliff and fell into the ocean. No! Eggman groaned in frustration before marching back into his lair, Orbot trailing after him, out of bold. The human slowly shook his head, knowing that he would have to get used to this. Back to bold. Y'all went over to Tails and UT once the door sealed. Thanks for the rescue, guys. Hey, Knuckles gestured at the small bot. We couldn't have done it without UT. Sai smiled. I think we'll be going on lots more adventures with UT from now on. I agree, Styx added. I'm going to destroy that stupid robot. The Badger promptly picked the mech up and hurled it into the water. Tails clenched his fists in anger while she just crossed her arms. Sorry, Tails. Had to be done. It faded to black. Out of bold for probably the rest of this because it just faded to black. And I need to scroll up. And okay. I think we're about to end this. I loved that episode, Amy laughed. Of course you did, Sonic muttered under his breath. Knuckles grinned, tone-filled with mirth. We did learn some interesting things. Nux, watch your back from now on, K? Besides that, Tails gestured to a captured Sonic, I kind of like it because... It doesn't matter why you like it. Shadow adjusted the ice on his face, stress ball laying in his lap. Cut the chat and play the next one. The Echidna was going to do just that, because he did have a particular jewel thief to worry about. But then a bright light filled the air, blinding all of them. When it faded away, Sonic couldn't help but to groan, Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Eggman gaped, not understanding why. Metal Sonic? There in the middle of the floor stood the metallic Sonic replica, his hard blue hide reflecting the lights above. His back was to the hostages, facing the large television. However, at Eggman's question, Metal turned to him and cocked his head, like he didn't know what was going on either. Everyone was tense, wondering just what in the world. Eggman's eyes... my bad. Metal's red opticals flashed, his monotonous voice piercing the air. Okay, yeah, I'm not saying what he said. Eggman scowled as he folded his arms across his chest. That's not important. What is important is why are you here? The whole situation was a mess. Eggman had been keeping Metal a secret for a future scheme. He had been in the middle of rebuilding him, planning on not replacing his memory and personality chips to avoid having a bot with an attitude. So he shouldn't even be finished right now. So what? Are you going senile in your old age, Doctor? My objective has not strayed. I've been activated and brought here for one blatant reason. Sonic's muscles locked up when those red eyes found him. To eliminate my inferior copy. Metal lunged. And that's it, pretty much. Because now we have a note from Kyuubi. And it says... Oh, whoops. I scrolled down too far. Woohoo! A cliffhanger! Wonder what's gonna happen next. Probably something hilarious. Yeah, I changed my mind about Metal. So many ideas have been pitched to me, and I just couldn't leave them out. Reviews and constructive criticism are welcome. Well, okay, guys. So apparently why she brought Metal in is because Metal is going to be a major character in later episodes. So, you know, in the show. So I guess... Kyuubi wrote him in so that he would be able to see these episodes. So apparently it's here. So I like this idea. I mean, it's gonna kind of be confusing why she didn't do this from the beginning. For like other viewers, like if this was like an actual book or something, like, it would be confusing to some people, but because this is a fan fiction, we can let it slide. Like, there are some things that you can do in fan fiction that obviously you can't do with real books. And this is one of those things. Now, I'm going to comment here, because that's usually what I do. I'm gonna like, fourth wall break this thing, in a way. Typing the, or I guess I should say type since it'll be in the past tense by the time she reads this. type this while recording, oh wait, no, that's probably not good. No, I don't need to do that. You see, I probably shouldn't reference my YouTube video in the reviews to her story, because that seems kind of like I'm trying to throw myself out there, trying to like gain subscribers from everyone. No. So no, and that makes it like more about me, and I'm not trying to draw attention to myself in that way. That's not nice, and that's not a good thing. So, I mean, not through the reviews or anything. I mean, I can do it through these videos because she's given me permission to do that, but I'm not gonna like use my reviews to say, oh, by the way, guys, I react to this on YouTube, so come check out my channel and everything. So no, I'm not gonna do that. So I guess we're gonna disband that idea and go with something actually a little nicer. So, so I'm gonna say I enjoyed the humor in this chapter. By the way, you making Tails the victim of the shadow thing, which I remember from the beginning. Tails the victim of shadow is very fitting, since bad things seem to always happen to him in Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom. It is cool to see metal, though. Alright. Hopefully things will be better for Sonic in the future. I'm gonna end it that way. Hopefully things, or not end it. Ah, crud. Crud. My typing messed up. Hopefully things will be better for Sonic in the future, because we all hope that Sonic in the future. See you in the next one. And have a God bless day. I always say, it's kind of my thing to just end it like that, because I want her to have one, you know? I want everybody to have a God bless day. That's actually why it's my outro. Speaking of which, guys, oh, what's I need to fix this right here. Okay. So I'll post review, and the review's been posted. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, even though it's like an hour and 33 minutes long. But regardless of you did or did not, guys, before I end it though, be sure to check out thekyuubivixen's story in the description down below, and my previous parts. I'll leave them in the description as well. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and regardless of if you did or did not, have a God bless day, everyone.